just as you preparing for your Rams debut, just how does it feel kind of leading into Thursday night and getting ready for that?
It feels good. I feel like we've been preparing for it for a long time. We just kind of just been watching preseason, so it's nice to get out there and actually play.
What did it mean for you so early into your tenure here with this team to be voted a captain by your teammates?
It was extremely humbling, honor, something I don't take lightly. For those guys to not only just let me be a captain, but embrace me when I first got here, really meant a lot.
Bobby, what have you seen from Josh Allen?
He's really good at a lot of things football related. So, they do a really good job in mixing up the pass and the run. Obviously, he's a run threat. So, anytime you play a quarterback like that can throw the ball really, really well and accurate and can run the ball, it presents a challenge. So, we just got to do something to take one thing away from him.
What can you do? What will you try to take away from him?
We make sure we tackle him. A lot of guys, when you play quarterbacks like that, you don't think that they're going to get hit. But he's not looking to go out of bounds. He's not looking to shy away from contact, which, as a defender you appreciate. So just understand, when you have that pocket, you got to treat him like a running back.
This guy's in a position where, like, we're a Super Bowl champion every year, or next season, every team, wants you guys so badly. How do you manage that emotion, and how do you think this group can manage that emotion, each week? I mean, they're truly going to get the best of every opponent.
Honestly, I think LA, everybody wants, the best because it's LA. I think it's so much that brings to LA. There's so much talent here. Everybody wants to live here. You know what I mean? So I think the biggest thing is just focus and not worried about like last year. Last year happened. That's over. This is a new team. Understanding everybody gunning for you, but you want everybody's best every game. So we're gonna do the same to them.
As you get ready for your first week and your first game in this uniform, is there anything as you've gone through the week that you've realized, like, oh, this is not the same as what it was like in Seattle my first week?
Man, honestly, it's just traffic. That's the biggest thing, to be honest. But no, just different colors, pretty much it. But they got a lot more black, so I don't mind it.
You hear all over the league how Josh Allen is actually, as big as he is, still a surprisingly difficult guy to tackle. Kind of does that thing where he can maybe go limp on one side on contact and all of that. Had you heard of that before? I mean, you've been around forever, so I'd imagine you've got to study on.
Everybody's been around forever.
It's still going.
Yeah.
I imagine you've studied him and quarterbacks like him.
For sure. I mean, there's guys like. Play guys like Cam, Colin, everybody presents a different challenge. Lamar. I think the biggest thing is the run game, because it's one thing when a quarterback runs, but it's another thing when they design the runs for him because he's that good at it. And so that's the thing that you got to be conscious of is they have a lot of misdirection stuff, and you think it's going to the running back, and you think it's going to the receiver, and really it's for him. And so, you watched it towards the end of the season when it was very critical moments. They put the ball in his hand in every facet, whether it was throw the ball or try to go get the first down or even fourth down. So I think it's really just being conscious and never losing sight that he will run the ball if he has to.
And that's where you come in as well, as diagnosing that, making sure you guys do have a counterpunch if there's some misdirection.
Yeah, a lot of the time it's just reading it and being on it. I mean, they're not going to come anything new. They're going to maybe have a couple of new plays, but at the end of the day, he's going to follow a fullback or a lineman. So those guys tend to take you to the ball.
Do you ever think, Bobby, as much as they pay quarterbacks nowadays, that especially someone like him who's already got the big payday, not running the line, to kind of protect the investment sort of thing?
To an extent, but I think also it's a different league. They coming in, most quarterbacks coming in were like, I don't know his height, he's like 6'5", 230 plus. You wasn't really seeing that. And so I'm figuring if he gets hit enough, they'll stop. But until then, I think it's a great weapon for him. So why not use it?
And then there's also that thing where typically when you can get to a quarterback, you can affect the quarterback. And it seems the way he plays in the fourth quarter that you may be getting to him, but it doesn't necessarily affect him. Do you kind of get that sense on film, or do you think you can still kind of affect him that way?
I think because he has such a strong arm that sometimes you see guys hang on his legs or hang on his lower body. He still has the arm power to throw it. So I think it's really important that, like, when you get close to him, you got to wrap him up. Even when he's swinging that ball around, you got to wrap him up because he's strong enough to have a couple guys at his leg and still make an accurate throw. So that's something that you got to respect.
In the coverage aspect, the guys behind you, kind of building off what you're saying, the ball could still come out and it could still get to where it needs to go. So how do you guys communicate as a group, front to back, to making sure that you're also not maybe falling for some of the misdirection the receivers might play with in terms of maybe the ball isn't coming and then there it is.
A lot of that is film study, to be honest. There's a lot of tendencies that can give some of that stuff away. And then two is just doing your job. And so, if you're on the back end and you got to cover a guy, you got to just trust that the front seven is going to do their job and make sure he doesn't scramble or escape. So I think it's going to take a team effort for sure. Everybody got to be on point, and we will be.